Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm really excited to be bringing you guys a haul video today. I went to a ton of places, so I've got, I think, an antique store, I did some yard selling, I did some thrifting, and then I have a few items like from Walmart and Target and stuff. So I'm going to start by taking you guys into my kitchen and showing you the item I picked up from Walmart. So the first thing I want to show you guys is actually this peg rack out here in my kitchen. And Walmart started selling these. They have them in the home improvement section, and they have this one here that has 5 pegs, and they have a shorter one with 4. I don't know how much this cost because my husband picked it up for me, but I think they were somewhere around 10. So it comes with like an unfinished pine color. I went ahead and stained mine special walnut because that is my favorite stain. And then I distressed it a little bit. You can see right there, that's where I hit it with the claw of the hammer. And then in some of these spots, I'm gonna try and get it to focus, you can see like little scratches. I just went ahead and threw a bunch of screws down and then hit them with the hammer. So it leaves like the little divots in the wood. And then I just went and hung all my aprons on it. And I'm really happy with how it, like the dark wood and the aprons all kind of like pop against the white walls. So the next thing I wanted to show you guys, I realized I never included in a video except on Instagram, and it's this Hearth and Hand periodic table of the elements. Now, I like this. I need something bigger. I feel like I'm going to take a step back so you guys can see. So I have this wall here, which is like leading into my bedroom, and I saw this chart on Target and I got so excited. So I went ahead and ordered it, and then I brought it home, and then I painted the whole dining room white, kind of like based off of how I had this envisioned white walls with like the worn wood and the black chart. But I feel like it's just too small for this space. I kind of want something like the one I have in the bedroom, which is like that down there. I want something of a bigger scale so it makes more of like an impact. And for me, this little periodic table one just isn't doing it in this spot. So I'm going to keep it and put it somewhere else, but I'm going to look for a piece of artwork that'll go here that'll be like a little bit more of an impact. So now I'm going to show you the things that I picked up at thrifting and consignment type stores. So you guys all know there's one across from my job because I talk about it like all the time. I go there usually every week. I take a box of stuff and I pick some stuff up always. And this week did not disappoint. So I'm going to show you the first thing that I found, and I shared this on my Instagram, and it's this little glass box with kind of like gold / brass trim. Let's try that again. It's a gold box with kind of like brass trim. And right now I just have some crystals in it. But I got this for like $1, and I had seen one on American Eagle Outfitters I was looking at, and they wanted $25 for it. I think the one I was looking at, and I wasn't going to do that. H&M does have one for like $12, but then you've got to pay shipping. So when I found this, I was super excited. Now, it didn't look like this when I first got it. It had some kind of like a stained glass bird on it, and I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture of that. But because it was $1, I was willing to give it a try, and all I did was scrape it off with a razor blade, and it did take some elbow grease, but it did come off. So I just have this sitting on my nightstand. Now that same store, I also picked up this little pitcher. And this is one of those white ones that looks like ironstone. So I'll just mix it in with the rest of them. And this was also $1. And I have more white dishes. This is so exciting. Anytime I come across these, I get really excited. So I have this bowl. And this one is not marked at all, but this one has like the really like vintagey type look. So it was really dirty when I got it. You can see there's still some scratching on the inside, but I like that. I went ahead and just scrubbed this up with Barkeeper's Friend, and it got most of the like major scratching out. So now it's back to white. But I love this. I'm going to go ahead and use this in here, I think. I'm tempted to keep it in my kitchen and put like fruit or vegetables in it. So maybe like I can take it back and forth between them. But I paid about $1 for this also. And then one more white item. And this came from my local Salvation Army. This was $0.25. And It's Inter-American porcelain china, but for $1/4 I could not leave this behind. So just to give you an idea of scale, this is like the normal sized creamer one, and that's the other one. And my local Salvation Army, I got these, I want to say like 2 or 3 days before they started this Christmas in July week, and I did share a little sneak peek on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me on there, I'm Frugal Farmhouse, and you can kind of like see sneak peek into my finds and things, and a little bit about like just random things I'm doing. But anyways, I scored some really great Christmas items. I've tucked them away now until probably November. I'll start doing my Christmas haul videos. That's when I like to bring this stuff out and kind of show you guys. But yeah, so I was really excited for that. And then also at this consignment store by my job, I picked up 2 7-Up bottles. And these are like the old ones. I like these for summer. I feel like with daisies or just like little white wildflowers, they look really nice. But I feel like they're going to be good at Christmas time too, because they have the red and green and kind of like maybe all grouped together on top of some greenery with like twinkle lights kind of woven through. I don't know if I'll end up doing that, but like I have ideas going through my head. So I picked these up. These were $2.50 for both of them. And then I mentioned that I hit up an antique. It's kind of like an antique mall, I guess. It's called the Old Lumberyard Shops, and it's in Milford, Pennsylvania, if anybody is in the northeast section of Pennsylvania. It's not like thrifting type prices. It's like true antique store prices, but they have some really cool things you can go and look at and get ideas and kind of like plan stuff out. So I picked up another bottle there, and this was $1. They had one table full of things that was $1. And when I saw this and I had picked up the other 2 the day before, I thought, how cool is that? It's like I'm building a collection. So I do have some others of these upstairs too. So now I have enough to kind of make a little grouping. Okay, so I hit the jackpot on vintage aprons that day that I went. I went with my mom, and I went with the intention to try and find ironstone, and they had some really great pieces, just nothing that I was in the range of prices for that day. But the vintage aprons were really great that day. So they were both in the same booth. And this is the first one I picked up. And it's just a red gingham, and then it's got some kind of like cross stitch work on it. And it's got a pocket. These were originally $10. This vendor was offering 75% off all their vintage linens. And I wish that I had taken a little more time, because she had like a bunch of other like tablecloths and things like that. So maybe when I have more time, I'll go back and kind of like browse through everything again. But this ended up being $2.50, which I thought was a really good deal. And I picked up another one for the same price. And this one is definitely going to be a Christmas one. Something about it just kind of feels like elfy to me. I think of like, what's that movie called? The one with Will Ferrell. Elf. It's called Elf. So anyways, it makes me think of like Zooey Deschanel in that movie. And it's just a green apron with a red and white candy cane and stripes. And this one was also $2.50. The next one I picked up was a little bit more. And this one was $7, but totally worth it. So this is another half apron, but this is one of those Minnesota souvenir ones. And I watch these all the time on eBay, the different souvenir ones, and I think they're so cool. So when I came across it in person, I thought $7 was a great price because you're not paying shipping. So anyways, it's just light pink, and then it's got all like the landmarks and things on it. And then on the way home from the antique mall, my mother and I saw a 1 yard sale we stopped at, and I picked up a basket, and this is like the best basket I've ever found. So it's just a really nice tall one, but it's got this great color to it. It's not shiny like some of them feel like they've been glossed or shellacked. This one just seems like it's been sitting in a barn or a garage and just like waiting for me to come get it. So anyways, it's got some really great like sturdy wood on the bottom. This one's a little bit bent, but that's okay. But for $1, I couldn't leave this behind. And I'll take you guys around after this video and show you the things that I put around my house, like where they're going. I have one last item, and this came from Walmart, and it's just a roll of contact paper in a marble type print. So what I'm thinking with this, I bought some foam board, and I'm going to go ahead and make some backdrops because I want to try doing some flat lay photos for Instagram. I did one, like I actually really tried to make one look amazing. And I mean, I'm not a photographer by any means, and I don't really know if it turned out that amazing, but in my mind, it was better than the ones I've done before. So I'm going to go ahead and make some like boards of different backdrops to use. So I have this. I've also got some beadboard I'm going to put on one. And then I was thinking I would pick up some peel and stick like wood and put that on another. And then I can do like double-sided. So I picked up 3 foam boards. I can make 6 backdrops. But I just thought they'd be kind of cool to kind of like maybe even just slide behind this hutch. And then when I need to do a picture, just kind of pull them out. And I've got some inspiration. So this, I don't know if I mentioned, I think it was 5, maybe 6, but I think it was $4.97. And they actually call it now adhesive laminate, not even contact paper. So, but this specific one is the exact width of the foam board I picked, so I won't even have to have like a seam down the middle. So I'll probably share those on my Instagram. But now I'm going to take you guys and just show you the few things that I've placed around the house already, how they ended up. So I just went ahead and put that one picture in here in my hutch, and I just mixed it with a taller picture, some blue mason jars, and a little bird's nest in another white dish. And while I'm out here on the hutch, I'm just going to give you guys a quick tour because I realized I never did like a summer home tour. So I'm going to go down and just show you guys the rest of these shelves. This one here is just 3 of these mason jars with a platter behind. And then down here I used a gravy boat stacked on some dishes. And these are those Real Touch fake flowers that I pick up on AliExpress. This one here is where I have my plants. Right now I have the light turned off, but normally there's a bright LED there for them. And I went ahead with a pink and white theme with these guys. And my Venus flytrap, and he's actually still doing really well. On the shelf below, I still have some of the gardening touches. I pulled out some of the orange terracotta and put in the blue mason jars and stuff because I figured around the patriotic holidays, the orange and the blue, red, and white just didn't go as well. So I've got white here. And then over here I have some of these like creamy terracotta type style pots. I just have some seed packets, a little watering can, and this actually has a print on it, but I didn't like that, so I turned it backwards. And then this here was a bookend I picked up on one of my vacations. This shelf below, I still have to kind of play around with that because I'm not super happy with that section. But here I have just a tureen on a book with a platter behind it. And I finally found these guys. I've been doing a ton of cleaning out, and this was tucked in a box that I thought was fall decor. But it turns out there was this and this little white gravy boat and a few other things that are supposed to be year-round that I must have just overlooked. So I was so happy when I found that again. And then that seeded glass pitcher that I picked up at Savers. That is one of my favorite thrift finds ever. And then over here is where the majority of my ironstone pitchers are. Below them I have a corbel with some more mason jars and then one of those little cross stitches. And then the shelf below I went with a kind of bingo theme. So I've got the bingo card and the vintage numbers. And then here I have just some ironstone stacked up. Next to it I have my scale that I picked up on vacation. Down here my phone, but it sits on this really cool children's toy that my husband picked up for me. And then up top, he's the only thing left now other than that Yankee Doodle Dandy sign that's like strictly patriotic to me. I've got my rolling pins, a few more ironstone pieces, and then down here I have my snake plants. They're about, I don't know, maybe like 7 feet directly across from the window, and then they get all the light from the light too, and that's been doing good for them so far. And then just a little crate behind them. And that is just kind of like an overview. Now let me just run you into the bedroom real quick. I'll show you that little box. I like it on my nightstand, so that's what I ended up going with. And I chose here because I like the way the wood and the dark greens kind of go with the brass. And then you've got the purple crystal inside, which I feel like kind of plays off of the lavender. So for right now, I'm really happy with how that turned out. And I know this isn't a tour video, but while I'm in here, I want to show you guys my mirror. I don't think I showed this in a video. I think I showed it on Instagram. I don't remember, honestly. But I picked up this mirror at that little consignment store across the street from my job for $7. And I am in love with it. It's like, it's looking really orange on camera, but it's not. It's kind of like a dusty, worn wood. And I kind of felt like I needed something rectangle here instead of round, which I'd had for a while. And I feel like that kind of plays off the shape of the bed perfectly. So now let me take you to the kitchen. I want to show you guys where I ended up using that mini pitcher. And he ended up right here on the shelves in my kitchen. And I just put him in this stack of enamel bowls. And these actually came from one of my viewers, so thank you for that. They came with some kind of like felted pumpkins, which I have tucked away till fall. But I wanted to go ahead and use the enamel bowls anyways. So I just stuck this little pitcher in top of them. And there's a Macy. And then last but not least, this is where I ended up putting that basket. So when you come upstairs into this little like storage area, I moved my Helmers over here. I used to have a ton of bookshelves here. I got rid of that and just made this. And I'm going to go ahead and put new stuff in here until I show it. And then I just put some wrapping paper on the wall and put up my letter A for my last name. And then I just put some hashtags and stuff. Maybe a little bit dorky, but I don't know. It makes me happy to look at. So right now, that's what I'm working with. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing the things that I found, and I'll see you in the next one.